Someone's saying, I want a blow-off valve for an Audi A5 B9.5.
It was for DT250. He followed back up.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, we don't recommend that on Audis. There's actually really never been an Audi that should have a blow-off valve. Also, why you don't really see it from the factory.
Except B5.
Definitely not B5.
That would be the worst. Those have
they all have recirculation valves. So, no, they're all. There's the same things on all the modern cars. It's your recirc valve in an electrical state. So it's the exact same functionality. You still want to recirculate and relieve the pressure from the turbo outlet. And the best place to put it is in the turbo inlet. So it's.
Yeah, I think anyone who thinks of a recirculating valve as a blow-off valve is very misinformed. Blow-off means the air blows off to the out of the intake, and there really isn't an Audi that was ever suited for that. And there isn't really a factory car either. That's why you don't see a lot of factory cars come with them. However, I did see this really great product. It's basically a little speaker that goes under your hood and a button on a remote. And you can get blow-off sounds whenever you want. Even when you're wide open throttle, you can be like, like while you're accelerating, blowing off the whole time. So I would just do something like that. You could tape it to your steering wheel. Probably the way to go.
Generally, we see more trouble, or we only see trouble with blow-off valves. We have not seen any kind of benefit to them other than
there is a sound. No, you do want a pressure relieving device that can recirculate unused boost pressure or static boost pressure back to the turbo inlet. The reason you don't there's an obvious one from an emissions standpoint. It releases potentially unburnt fuel into the atmosphere instead of running it through the combustion process. So that's the main reason why you don't see it.
Yeah, that would be from your PCV or your breather system.
The engines for a long time have been closed systems. So once air goes into the engine, the only way it can escape is out the tailpipe. By having any extra hydrocarbons in it burnt off through the combustion and catalytic converter process. The other reason is that once air enters your air intake, the ECU counts it as air that's going to go in the engine. And if at some point that air goes out into the atmosphere, then the ECU can no longer match that volume of air with the appropriate amount of fuel. So it can mess with your ECU fuel trim calculations as well. So
yeah, if you're on a MAF
especially a big problem if you're on a MAF where that air was actually measured coming in and then it goes out. Big problem. The MAF-less cars, the ECU is still calculating the amount of airflow that's coming in the engine. It's not a good idea. But if you want the sound, there are other ways to get it. You could also just have a blowhorn, one of those amplified ones, and just go out the window and go. You can make whatever sounds you want.
Lots of a good intake will get you most all of that because the recirc valve is there on these cars anyway, and it's dumping back into the turbo inlet, and you hear it quite clearly with open intakes.
Yeah, open intake will definitely, like any of our intakes will give you more of that sound. But some of the guys are looking for the
HKS sound. The valve called.
Yeah, I know what I used to call it.
The Screaming Eagle.
That's been canceled. I can't say that.